Hello, my name is Eric and I'm doing another one of my photography vlogs called One Body, One Lens, One Roll, One Day. I am here on the south side entrance of Medina Lake, the Route 18 access. I've already walked in a bit and we're going to see what we can get. Today's camera, you've seen them a couple times, Nikon N2000. Typically uses the AAA batteries. I've got the AA adapter on this. AAA batteries in this camera tend to corrode, so be careful using the AAA one. Standard 50mm 1.8. I actually do like this one. Not a big fan of the Series E. I think that one was always a little on the soft side. Maybe I just shot bad copies, I don't know, but I do like this one a little bit better. Today's film, some unique film, some Super Positive by Film Photography Project. This is a very unique black and white film. It does develop in normal black and white, and it is not for use in automatic cameras. The answer is why? Because it is such a slow ISO. Most automatic cameras cannot read this slow. This is ISO 0.8. Yeah, 0.8, super slow. Slightly different base. It's kind of a lot more clear than maybe a traditional black and white, and kind of brownish. So it might be kind of interesting to see how this guy turns out. All right, I'm going to load it up, and I'm going to have to play the Sunny 16 rule because the ISO on my camera does not go that low. All right, let me load it up. I'll be right back. Okay, typical Sunny 16 rule says at f16, your shutter speed should closely match your film speed. This is an ISO 0.8, so right now I'm currently set at f16 at a 1 second exposure. Now I'm going to stop it down to 11, to 8, that's 2, to 5, 6 is 3, to 4, to 2.8 to 1.8. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stops. So now I can go 6 stops faster on my shutter speed, and I'll tell you what that is in just a second. Okay, so we adjusted 6 stops on the aperture to get it as fast as I can. That is 6 stops. So now I've got to adjust my shutter speed 6 stops. So instead of 1 second, half is 1 stop, quarters 2 stops, eighth is 3 stops, 15 is 4 stops, 30th is 5 stops. I'm going to shoot at a 60th of a second at 1.8. That is a 6 stop comparison to a Sunny 16, but to a fast enough shutter speed that I can handle. I can probably handle it at 30th of a second at the 2.8, but I'm going to be safe and shoot it at 30th of a second. Alrighty, time to get some shots. Be right back. Now, while shooting black and white, you can use colored filters to tweak your contrast. I could use a green filter, make the greens go lighter, red filter, make the greens go darker, yellow filter, make the sky go a bit darker, make the clouds pop a little bit more. However, with this slow of ISO film, that would slow me down even more, so I'm just shooting this guy straight up and seeing what we're getting. All right, I am on shot 12. I believe this is a roll of 36. I'll check the canister. Be right back. Okay, so it is a roll of 24. I'm about halfway through. I'm going to head back that way. Let's go see what we can get. Be right back. So as I'm recording, if you see something that kind of looks like snow falling, even though it's a early June 80s, it's cottonwood. Cottonwood trees are, piles of cottonwood, cotton I guess is what it is. It's kind of all over the path and stuff like that. So if you see something that looks like snow in the video, it's not snow, it's cottonwood. All right. Shot 16 out of 24. I'm going to keep heading that way. Let's go see what we can get. All right, as I was taking a quick break, I decided to look up a little bit more about the Super Positive film, and according to this, it is a dactylographic film. Not familiar with that term, and I've been in the business for 30 some odd years, but it's a very specialty film, typically used in the study of fingerprints. So hopefully high contrast, like maybe some of the other high contrast stuff that I've shot, and it says it's a positive film, so it may be more like a black and white slide film, which ought to be interesting when I get the negatives back. It's probably why the base was a little clear. It was normal black and white, normal color. It's a very opaque base until you shoot that goes through the chemistry. This actually base was a little bit more semi-transparent. I could almost look through it like a very thin veil. So again, interesting film. Let's see what happens. But I got to keep going, take some more photos. Let's go that way. All right, so a little bit about the Nikon N2000. This was their first one with the built-in motor drive rather than having an external attachment like the FEs and FMs or power drives, or even like some of the other manual cameras. And this was also their first one that did the DX code, so it could read ISOs from like 25 to 3200. Now, I am not in DX code. I'm actually ignoring the meter because the ISO was so slow. This particular camera can go down to ISO 12, so I still would have been like 4 stops off. So ignoring the meter, playing Sunny 16. Every now and then I'll open it up one more, so we'll see what we can get. I'm gonna head back that way. There's a cool little bridge, nice stream, nice canopy, and that might be a little tricky to shoot with this film just because it's so slow. But let's go see what we can get. Be right back. All right, so that last shot, because a cloud came in front of the sun and I'm shooting underneath the canopy tree, I dropped it by 2 more stops. So instead of shooting at 1.8 at about 60th of a second, which is a standard Sunny 16 rule, I shot that last one at 15th of a second just to try to get some more light into this area because the sun went away for a minute or two. All right, I got about 2 or 3 shots left. Let me see what I can get. Now that the sun came out, I just redid that shot, and I'm gonna set you back to 60th of a second. And let's see what else I got. All right, so it looks like I got 2 extra shots. I ended at shot 26, so that's good. Again, most films, especially when you're doing the manual wind or something like this, you might get an extra shot or 2. If you're even really lucky, you might get 3, but typically it's 1 or 2 extra shots. Now with this camera, a lot of the other manual cameras, you would have a release button on the bottom. However, that's where the batteries are on this one. For this one, it's a pin up on top. I'm gonna push the pin in and move the lock over so it stays locked down. Where some of the other ones might actually pop out on you, this one actually locks down. And then as you are rewinding, about as many shots as you took is about as many rewinds as you're going to have. So right about now, and I wish I had a long lens because there's a blue jay like within 30 feet. There he goes. Didn't cut in front of the camera, but that was kind of cool to see. Wish I had the long lens, but yeah, that's what happens when you're out shooting with just one lens. All right, so today's episode, we were at Medina Lake South Entrance. Today's camera was the Nikon N2000 from the mid-1980s, 1985-ish, I believe. It was their first one with the built-in motor drive and first one with the DX code. Today's film was some FPP, it was a B or something. Today's film was some FPP Super Positive black and white, so maybe a black and white slide film. I won't know until I get it developed. All right. If I get some cool images, feel free to give them a thumbs up. Feel free to comment on your experience with FPP films, especially the really, really slow stuff like slow or sun or super positive and how you shot it. Feel free to subscribe as new episodes try to come out every Friday and every Saturday with bonus episodes and technical episodes happening every now and then. I did a technical episode and converted it into a short on how to load a manual 35mm camera. So if you're just learning film cameras, that be again. So if you're just learning manual film cameras, you can watch that episode on tricks on how to load it. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode.
Okay, so during development, this film seemed to have like looped against itself. So some of these photos you might see like a cross thread or other discoloration. I can't say discoloration because it was black and white, but bright spots versus black spots. It was done during developing because the film kind of curled upon itself as opposed to most normal film, and you would see all the negative strips, but you could tell where this thing kind of curled against itself and kind of affected almost all the negatives. Um, these things happen in developing, especially if you're hand developing. Even in machine developing, they can like curl upon themselves and kind of damage the negs. I saved what I could. Looks like we got a couple of decent images and some that kind of had bright spots and flares, and you could tell where the tracks of another neg was on top of it. That happens every now and then, not a big deal. Um, I might have to try this film again because I thought it was kind of cool. All right, enjoy the photos. Thanks for watching.